Hello my viewers and welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Merry Christmas, people. And are the Steelers playoff hopes still alive? Are the Steelers playoff hopes still alive? The answer is yes, of course. We've seen a lot of crazy things happen yesterday as well. We've seen the Colts lose to the Falcons. We also seen the Browns beat the Texans. That helped us out a lot too. And the Jaguars lost another one. So a lot of losses that kind of help us out. So it's a lot of teams sitting at 8-7. We need some of those teams to drop one more because it says they have the tie breaker over us head to head. If that happens, we can see ourselves move up more and more and get ourselves either a 7 seed spot in the playoffs. All you got to do is just win out. Because some of these teams got to play each other again later down the line. So, hey, it's going to come down to somebody getting that spot. So we got to make sure you keep winning. And we got the Seahawks coming up next. And that should be a tough one. And after that, we got the Ravens. So we got to make sure we just keep stacking these wins up and just keep winning and find ourselves in the playoffs. I know we don't control our narrative like we did when we was at 7-4. I know we kind of lost some games, but hey, if you got a chance, you got to keep fighting and keep playing for the playoffs. I know we want to see our team one day not be in the situations right here and just kind of be a team that's already in the playoff contention, a team that's already solidified themselves or clinched their spot. But until we get there, we'll be fighting, we'll be gritting, we'll be grinding and toughing it out and trying to find a way to get in that dance. And once you get in the playoffs, you never know what could happen. And where our team is set up, we could play spoiler. You never know. Because the way the defense go out there and play, I know sometimes the defense look a little shaky at times here and there, but overall, this season, I think the defense has done a good job like that. The offense, of course, is far from that. But last game against the Bengals, they played very good. Mason Rudolph, like I mentioned before in the previous video I did about the Steelers, Mason Rudolph looks the most poised. He ran the offense the best out of all of the other quarterbacks. Of course, Kenny Pickett, before he went down, he was 7-4. So, of course, we know what he did. He had those, 4 or 5 game-winning drives, made enough plays to get it done. He didn't score a lot of touchdowns. He didn't have the most flashy numbers, but he went out there and made enough plays to get it done. He don't turn the ball over either. But Mason Rudolph showed you a lot up his ass. He showed you a lot of splash as well. Those deep balls he threw to George Pickens. He had the 60-yard touchdown pass to George Pickens. He had the 82-yard touchdown pass to George Pickens as well. He just showed you a different dynamic and was able to execute and attack the field, the middle of the field, and make things happen. Of course, he's more experienced. He's been here longer than anybody, and you know he's waiting and itching for opportunity. He's 6'4" as a starter. In my opinion, I think you got to roll with them. I'll probably make a video on that later down the week as well. But you probably got to roll with Mason Rudolph. Like I mentioned before, coming to this game, I knew Mason. Though I say yes, Mason can win this game. I thought the game was going to be like 20-13 or 23-13, right at range. I think the Steelers would go out there and just manhandle the Bengals. But I'm glad they did. Give us a great Christmas win. And I think if we can just keep stacking these wins up and just see what things happen, because the Colts, Texans and Jaguars, those teams in the AFC South that are kind of in the playoff spots against us are starting to lose a little bit. So we could find ourselves sneaking into the playoffs. Of course, the Bills are in front of us. Bills are 9-6, I believe. We're 8-7, and then you have the who else in front of the Bills? Oh, the Ravens. I mean, not the Ravens, the Browns. The Browns are 10-5. So we can find ourselves sneaking in the playoffs in the 7th spot. All we gotta do is keep winning. If one of those teams, if some of those teams lose some games like that in front of us, we can squeeze ourselves back in that spot. That last game of the season might be a big game for us too as well. So we got to keep just going out there playing our hearts out and playing for our season to get ourselves in that playoff spot, in that playoff picture. And hopefully, but one day in the future, we already have our spot solidified and clinched by this time of year. But I'm just hoping the Steelers can just go out there and play their style of football against the Seahawks. But, until then, we're going to enjoy the win, enjoy the win that we had, and enjoy the losses that happened for other teams as well to keep our playoff hopes alive. Those losses was very necessary too as well. So, especially the Texans one, they lost to an AFC team, and then the Colts losing that game, they lost to the Falcons, but still, the loss still helped as well. So now a lot of teams sitting at 8-7. Now we're going to see who can get it done. This is when the pressure is on. This is when the big dogs start stepping up. Last year we seen the Steelers do it. They won they won 3 straight. They last 3 games of the season. They missed the playoffs by a little bit, but this time if they can find themselves win 3 straight, they might can see themselves in the playoff picture. And I hope they can. I hope they can. So we're gonna see what happens. But I think you should roll with Mason Rudolph as the hot hand. Kenny Pickett, of course, we know he had a 7-4. And I know a lot of fans having that little debate. I'm seeing it on Twitter. I'm seeing it everywhere on YouTube and stuff as well. Fellow content creators. Mason Rudolph or Kenny Pickett. In my opinion, you got to roll with the hot hand. Because Kenny Pickett hasn't played in 3 or 4 weeks. So bring him back What if he's rusty and you don't want to like start him and then have to bench him? Then it'll be a bad look because he's supposed to be your guy. So it'd be better just to start Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph plays still like playing good and playing great. You keep him in until the foreseeable future. Now if you start playing bad, you can always pull him out, put KP in, and then just roll with it like that. But Mason Rudolph has shown us that he's ready for his opportunity. He's prepared himself for his opportunity and seized the moment. And he's going out there and shining. And this will be some type of story, some type of comeback story. If he can find himself in the playoffs, leading the Steelers to the playoffs, and maybe, you know, I don't know what you can do once you get in there, but if you get in there, you got a chance. So we'll see what happens. But we're going to take it one game at a time. Starting next game against the Seahawks. Hopefully we can win that game. It's a 3 o'clock game. I will be live streaming that game as well, so come in and tune in for that one. But this is all I got for this video today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys probably the next day. But Merry Christmas. Peace out.